Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to JJC Jersey's virtual chat. I am Brittany with the Discover Dairy program, and we are so excited that you are joining us today as we get to meet Farmer Jodi and, of course, your adorable adopted calves, Cookie, Lark, and Poppy. Today's chat wouldn't be possible without the generous support of the Midwest Dairy Association and the Dairy Excellence Foundation. So thank you to both of those organizations for making today possible. First, this live chat is part of the Adopt a Cow program. So for anyone that is new to Discover Dairy and the Adopt a Cow program, it is a free online resource that covers Common Core standards in math, reading, and science, all while teaching dairy concepts in those lessons. The resources can be found at discoverdairy.com. And we'll go ahead and throw that link in the chat for you so you have easy access to that resource. We'd also love for you to join the Adopt a Cow Fund next year. So if you're either interested in joining again or you're brand new to this program and you just kind of stumbled upon this live chat, we welcome you to join the experience. Today is actually when we launched our registration. So you can go to discoverdairy.com/adopt. And on that landing page, if you are new to the program, you'll fill out that form and hit submit. Or if you're a returning participant, all you have to do is log into your account, go to discoverdairy.com/adopt, confirm your information, and click submit, and you'll be re-enrolled automatically. Next, as everyone continues to join us live today, you'll see that chat feature is enabled. So please feel free to keep using that chat feature. Go ahead and comment and ask questions throughout our chat. I do just ask that you make sure you keep your questions and comments related to the chat and that they're school appropriate. So before we hop over to Farmer Jodi, because I know she's excited to meet you guys and answer your questions, we're going to see who is joining us today. So let's hop over to the chat and check it out. So we have, let's see, we've got some folks from McCook, Nebraska. Hello, welcome. Good afternoon. We've got some folks from North Bend Central. Awesome, welcome. We've got some third graders from Schooler. I might be pronouncing that wrong. Ooh, sorry, but hello, welcome. Good afternoon. And we've got some folks from Midland, South Dakota. Awesome. We're happy to have you from South Dakota. Welcome. And I know there's going to be more that are hopping on here. We've got some folks from Gretna, Nebraska. So please go ahead and keep letting us know where you're joining from. We're excited to see you and excited to hear all of your questions. So with that, I am pleased to introduce you to Farmer Jodi. Hey, Farmer Jodi, how are you doing today?
We are doing great here in Nebraska. Welcome all you students to our farm and to our barn where our heifers are, where your heifers are. A little bit about our farm. We milk mostly Jerseys, so those are the little brown cows. We milk about 200 right now. We do have a few from every breed, so the Holsteins and Guernseys and Ayrshires, Shorthorns and Brown Swiss. We do have a few of all of those. On our farm, we have, so it's my husband, Jason, and I, and then we do have 6 kids, and each one of them helps out on the farm. They have their own area of expertise, I guess, if you want to call it that. We have a senior who graduates in a couple of weeks, so that's a little scary. But he is in charge of feeding right now, and so he takes care of the animals and makes sure they all get a good, healthy diet. And we have quadruplets that are 15. They help out in the barn. They know all the cows really well, so they help to make sure they're getting milked and just general care of them. And then we have Henry, who is 7, and his main job is to play. So that's what he does. But this summer he's going to help do calves. He doesn't know that yet, but he's going to be doing that. So my husband is 3rd generation on the farm, and our kids are hopefully going to be the 4th. Yeah, that's a little bit about our farm.
Awesome. I can't believe your quadruplets are 15 already. I know we started working together a few years ago. I just can't believe that they're that old already. And I love seeing that they're all getting so involved on the farm.
Yes. And they're all getting close to that age 16 where they're all going to be having licenses. So that's another scary part of what's coming on. So yeah, but it's
Oh my
good.
goodness. Good. Oh my gosh. I love that your whole family is involved. That's a lot of fun. And I know they all have their own part on the farm of helping take care of the cows. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they might also have a part in maybe helping to take care of some other animals on the farm. Is that correct? Do you guys raise other animals other than dairy cows?
We do have some other animals. So we have dairy goats. So if you guys ever drink goat milk or something like that, there is a breed of goats that you can milk. And we also have chickens. So sometimes my kid, well, should say a lot of the time, my kids refer to me as the crazy chicken lady because yeah, it's kind of a bad habit to get into. We have a lot of chickens. So but yeah, they're fun and they're pretty, almost as pretty as the cows we have. So,
Aw. So you have a soft spot for chickens too. That's
well,
pretty cool.
yeah, I don't know how I got that soft spot, but it just came. So,
That's adorable. And the
yes.
goats, that sounds like a lot of fun. And you mentioned goat milk, which is pretty cool. Do
Yeah.
you guys sell goat milk, or what does that look like for you guys?
We don't sell any right now. Most of it's going to feed the kids or the baby goats.
Okay.
So most of it's going there. We do sell a little bit to other farmers who maybe have the boar goats.
Okay.
If they need some extra milk for their babies, then we sell a little bit to them. But otherwise, we're just feeding it all to the babies. Sometimes we'll feed it to the calves when they're little, if they
Oh,
have upset tummies. But yeah, it's yeah.
very cool. I love it. I love that you guys have lots of different animals going on your farm, and
Yes.
I think you might have mentioned it. Maybe I missed it. I apologize if I did. How many cows do you have on your farm?
We're milking about 200, but we raise all of our own like replacement heifers, like the heifers that you guys have in your classrooms. We raise all those up from birth till when they enter the milking barn. So we probably have about double that, probably around 450 animals total.
Oh my goodness. So 450 cows to take care of, a ton of
Yes.
chickens, a ton of goats, and 6 kids. Yeah,
Yes.
you have a lot on your hands, Farmer Jodi. That's incredible.
It's it's always busy. There's never a dull moment. So
I love that. Well, I believe part of that very large herd is 3 of our really cute calves that we have been following this year. So Farmer Jodi, we would love to get to see them. Oh, there they are. I cannot believe they're just hanging out. I love it.
they are.
And so if we want to go ahead and just start with one of them, we'd love to, let us know which one is which, and give us an update on how they're doing.
Okay, so I don't know which one she has on camera first. Um, so Lark is the one that she's a Jersey. She's got some white on her. Usually Jerseys are all brown, but her coloring has a little bit of white on her. And that's Lark. And she is actually about 37 inches tall now and about 190 pounds. So
Wow.
she's grown since those birthday pictures,
Oh yeah.
and she's really looking good now.
Aw, I love that she has white because you're right. Jerseys don't normally have those white spots. So she's a
Yep,
very creative and colorful jersey. And now, she's grown a lot, but compared to the two she's in the pen with, she's awfully small. Is that pretty general or normal for a jersey?
that's pretty common. Jerseys are a smaller breed. So the other two that she's in the pen with, one is the other one that's got a lot of white, that's a Guernsey, and then the other one's a Shorthorn. So those are two fairly good sized breeds. So yes, it's
Gotcha.
very common. Now, one cool thing about Lark, and I don't know if everybody knew this or all you students did, but she has a twin sister.
Oh,
So, and her twin sister is not identical. She is all brown, doesn't have any white on her, but yeah, she has a twin sister.
oh, so I'm assuming she's in the herd and probably even in the pen,
Yep,
in the same pen
yep,
she's in since they're the same age.
yes, yep,
That's cool. Do
they
you see
sure
them
are.
hang out a lot at all, or do you notice that at all,
Um,
or they kind of do their own thing?
at different times they're together, but then they kind of do their own thing also. Yeah, I don't see them like hang out all the time together.
Right. They're like typical sisters, right?
Right.
They like
They
their
need their
space.
space and they like their own friends. And yeah, they're pretty
That's funny.
typical.
Oh, I love that. So we met our beautiful Jersey here, and it looks like we have our
Guernsey.
Guernsey next to her.
Yes.
So yes, go ahead.
That's Cookie right there.
Aw,
And she is the Guernsey. She seems to be a little camera shy. But
yeah.
but yeah, that's Cookie, and she is about 41 inches tall and about 215 pounds. So
Wow.
you can see how much taller the Shorthorn and Guernsey are than the Jersey, and
Yeah.
that then the Shorthorn and Guernsey are about the same height.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, they're just hanging out there.
Oh yeah,
So then
and you
we've
can.
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say you can see, like, if you can see Cookie there, she's looks like she's chewing gum. That's what we kind of call it. She looks like
Yeah.
she was chewing gum. So that's
Mhm.
chewing her cud. So
Oh.
they can bring that food back up from their stomach and rechew it. That's also a sign of a happy, content animal. So
Interesting. Now, I mean, we as humans don't need to do that. Why does that
no.
happen for a cow? Like, why is chewing their cud a thing that they do?
Well, and I don't really know if there's a why. It's just something they can do. You know, they have one stomach and those four compartments,
Mhm.
um, so they can just eat a lot and then save part of it to chew again later, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact why of
Maybe
why.
just to get all the nutrients out of their food. I don't know,
Yeah,
but that's
because they
pretty cool.
can. That's
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that makes them one of the really fantastic recyclers, right? Cows can
yeah,
eat a lot of cool things that humans cannot because they can get the
definitely.
nutrients out of them. So,
Definitely.
do you guys feed any type of byproducts or anything on your farm?
So we feed a wet gluten, which is a byproduct from ethanol, or when they take the corn in to do ethanol with it. Um,
Oh,
and I don't know for sure how that process all works, but we get the wet gluten from that, and we can mix it in with their feed, and it's a very important part of their feed. Um,
hmm,
and they can use that to grow, and it helps the milk cows produce milk, and yeah, it's a great thing.
that's
We
really
also
cool.
feed we also feed in the heifer ration straw, so that's kind of a byproduct of wheat.
Hmm.
So yeah, and when we feed corn silage, that's using the whole stalk of the corn plant, not just the ear of corn. So yeah, they eat a lot of things that humans can't eat.
Yeah, that makes them a very resourceful animal because we are awfully wasteful as humans, but they
Yeah,
can then eat all of our stuff that we can't and make it into milk,
yes,
which is really cool. I love that. I
yeah,
absolutely love
for
that.
us to eat or drink.
Right, right, exactly. So we've met our Guernsey, we've met our Jersey, and I know we've got our milking shorthorn, Poppy. So
That
what's
is
how's
Poppy.
she doing?
So Poppy is about 43 inches tall and about 220 pounds. So, as we said, her and Cookie are very similar in size and weight.
Mhm.
Um, if they look a little different, like, oh, that one can't, they're not the same. It's just different animals carry their weight a little different. The shorthorn, so if you know anything about beef cows, there is a shorthorn breed of beef cows. So the milking shorthorn is a little bit, you know, on that beefier side. So
Right,
she's
like
a little,
stuffier. Mhm.
yeah, a little thicker maybe through the legs and things like that. So yeah,
Interesting. Now I think she's such a pretty color. I think she's just
she
so dark
is.
and pretty. And is that pretty typical for a milking shorthorn? Do they ever have spots or are they usually pretty dark like this?
They that dark color, and being all that dark color, is pretty typical, but there are quite a few cows or calves that are, we call them a roan, which is they're kind of the red color, but they have a lot of white speckled through them. And then there's a lot of shorthorns that do have a lot of white on them that would look more like that Guernsey that we have too. So they have a lot of color variations in each breed. The only breed I think that is mainly the one color would be the brown Swiss. They usually stay that gray color, so
Okay.
there's not a lot of variation.
Gotcha. Interesting. I love how they're just all hanging out in here. Now, is this pretty typical for them? Like, are they usually in a pen or where are they typically living right now?
So right now we're in what we call it the calving barn. So we would bring animals over here, or the cows over here, if they were going to have a calf.
Okay.
Um, but typically these are out in a big lot, and there's probably 75 animals in that pen. So they have a lot of bunk space, and they have a couple sheds out there. So there's a lot of these same age, not exactly the same age, but um, within a few months of
Mhm.
this age of calf out there running together, and they have, ample room to be on the dirt and the bunk space to eat. So they're pretty happy out there.
That's awesome. Now you mentioned that they've got lots of food and lots of space and they're with lots of friends. What's that food look like for them at this time in their life?
So that food that we have, they're on a TMR, which is a total mixed ration. Um, in that ration, like we said, there's some straw. There's also hay, like alfalfa hay. There's a little corn silage, a little bit of that gluten. Um, and then they do get like a vitamin supplement pack, so that just to keep them healthy and growing, much like what you would feed your kids, or what you kids would take as a vitamin. We also do the same thing for our animals here.
Awesome. That sounds like they get a pretty well balanced diet every day. They eat better than I do. It sounds like my,
Yeah,
my day
more
consists of
nutritionally
cereal and ice
sound than a
cream.
lot of people. So
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. And no wonder they're getting so big and strong because they've got a delicious diet that they get to eat every day.
yes, yep,
And I think you mentioned it, but that you work with a nutritionist, right, to
we
make
do.
those diets. So does that nutritionist then also work with the whole herd and your milking herd and everything to make that perfectly
Yes,
balanced too?
yes. He comes and works with the cows as well as the calves. Um, so that we have, each time you harvest like your corn silage or your hay, or whatever it is that grows in the field, it can, depending on your weather and where you're at, those can each have different nutritional components from cutting to cutting. So he'll come out and he'll take samples and see what those components are, and then he can adjust the vitamins or the supplements that they get each time to make sure they are getting a balanced diet.
Very cool. Wow, that sounds like a lot of science and math and understanding just how crops work and everything else. So it sounds very scientific, and I'm glad. I mean, I know you guys do a great job taking care of the farm, but it's definitely helpful to have some other professionals like the
It
nutritionists and
is.
veterinarians to help make sure everything's running smoothly. That's awesome.
That's true. And believe it or not, when that nutritionist is out here, you might think this is funny, but one of the most important things they're going to look at is their poop. So it's a good thing to have that nutritionist walk through your lots and say the poop looks good. So
Interesting.
that's,
That's the
yeah,
tell.
that's that's a very good telltale sign of your feed program is the poop looks good. So
Interesting. Well, that's I can't say I've ever heard that before, but that makes sense.
yep,
Oh man. So Farmer Jodi, they are obviously growing really strong. They're eating good food. I know they usually get to be out on a lot with a bunch of people. We had someone ask, they were just curious while they're with those other calves, are they out on pasture at all, or is it pretty much just all of that mixed diet that we give
it's
them?
yep, it's all of that mixed diet that we give them. We don't really have the space to do pasture. A lot of farmers do, or a lot of dairies do have some pasture, but we don't have the space here to do that. So we take a lot of pride in feeding our calves so that they will grow, because our cows and our heifers are 100% dependent on us for their feed, for their water, for their housing,
Mm,
for making sure that they're taken care of and healthy and growing.
yeah.
They totally depend on us. So yeah, it's a big responsibility.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It sounds like they're doing it sounds like you're doing a great job because and look at them. Oh, they are just like posing for the camera. Well, minus our wonderful little Guernsey in
Yeah,
the back there. She's hiding, but
she's that camera shy one that
oh man. So Farmer Jodi, we had a good question come in, and I was trying to think of the answer to this myself since you've been working with me for so long. Someone was wondering, how long have you been an adopt a cow farmer, and whatever made you decide to say yes to participating in the program?
I think is this the third year? I believe it's the third
I
year.
think that sounds right. Yeah.
So when I first said yes, I really didn't have any idea what the program was. I hadn't really heard of it. I didn't know what I was doing or what I would be doing. But I just decided, hey, let's do it. We'll just jump in and see what happens. And that first year was kind of a year of, trying to adjust and figure out what to do and how to do it. And from then on, we've just kind of, I won't say we're old hat at it, but we're trying.
You guys are a wonderful host farm. I love having you guys in the program. It is a lot of fun. So Donna, yeah, thank you for asking that question. Farmer Jodi is one of our tried and true host farms in the program who's been doing this for a number of years, and she always does such a great job, and her camps are always adorable. So it's a pleasure having you in the program, Farmer Jodi.
Thank you.
And also just wanted to let you know, Farmer Veronica actually is watching currently on Facebook too. And Farmer Veronica is another farmer at another farm
Yes.
that's in the program. So just wanted to let you know that she was giving you a little shout out.
She's probably looking at the jersey comparing to her jersey. So
probably. We had another good question come in. They were wondering, at what age can these calves start having a baby of their own?
So we start, and this is pretty general for a lot of dairies, we start breeding at about 12 months. So about 1 year of age is when we start looking for those signs that they're ready to be bred. And then from then, hopefully they do get bred, pretty quick, so that they can calve in or have their first calf by the time they're about 2 years of age.
Okay, so about 2 years old, this will now have their first calf.
Yes.
And just to help, obviously at 2 years old for humans, that's not even possible. But for
Right.
the first 2 years of a cow, I've been told that like every 10 human years is about 1 year for a cow. So they're about 20 at that point.
Yes. And I've heard that too. So
yeah,
much like you would count in dog years is
right.
how you would say cow years.
Yeah, that makes sense. So they're plenty mature and definitely ready to have
Yes.
babies. And as you can see right
Yes.
now, they are playing and having fun on picking on each other.
Oh, yes.
So is that pretty typical? Is that how cows normally play? They just kind of like headbutt and hang out?
Well, yeah, and it's also kind of that, maybe it's a little bit of the I'm bigger than you, or I have more power than you, kind of establishing their role on the farm. So they
Sure.
kind of, once in a while do that. But they do, they lick each other's heads and ears, and yeah, they're very friendly towards each other also.
Aw.
So
Look, they're all hanging up. Poor Jersey's getting all of the weight. They're using her as a little head stool here.
yes.
Oh,
But she's
man.
pretty smart. She moves out of the way. So
That's true. We had a good question come up. They were curious if you happen to know if any one of these guys have any siblings at all. Well, we know that Jersey has a twin sister, but we didn't know if you knew about the other two.
The Guernsey, I know, does not have any because her mama was a heifer when she calved in.
Gotcha.
And I believe the Shorthorn would have some, but I don't know if they were heifers or bulls.
Gotcha.
I don't remember that part.
So a heifer, you referred to her mom as a heifer, and that's just because she's a first-time mom. So this was her first calf that she had, and now that she had her calf, she's essentially considered a cow. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Gotcha. Awesome. Oh, this one's a cute. They were wondering how you came up with these really cute names. This is from Miss Neely.
I thought of Poppy because I think of poppies and they're red. So that was kind of how I came up with the Shorthorn, because she's kind of that deep, dark red color. So that was kind of how I came up with Poppy. And then usually when we name our calves, we try to pick out a name that starts with the same first letter as their mom or the cow. So Lark's mom, her name would have started with an L, I believe, and then I think Cookie might have been the same way.
Gotcha. That's cool. That helps you remember who's who and who belongs to who. So that's pretty cool. These two are really trying to duke it out here. They keep picking on each other.
Yeah, I don't know. The Shorthorn's kind of asserting her dominance. I
Yeah,
don't
she
know.
is.
But the
Oh
Guernsey's
man.
not going down lightly. She's
No.
standing her ground.
That's cute. I like that they're hanging out together like this. It's fun. Um, so we were curious if Lark's twin had a name. Did you name her twin?
I don't know if she has a name yet. It would be on her registration paper. So I
Gotcha.
don't know if she has a name or if we've got her registered. We should have her registered. Um, but I don't remember what her name is at the
Right.
moment.
You've got 450 cows to keep track of, so that's understandable.
Yeah, I don't remember all the names. Now my kids can tell you, so each one of our animals has a number like you see in their tag.
Mhm.
My kids can tell you when the animals or when the cows come in the barn. My kids can tell you who each animal is just by looking at their udder and legs. They don't even have to see the tag, and they can tell you who it is.
Wow.
And for the most part, they will be able to tell you what calf they had, if it was a heifer or a bull, and they can tell you what they had last year, who she was bred to.
Wow.
Yeah, they have a phenomenal sense or knowledge of those animals.
Yeah.
It amazes me because yeah,
It sounds like you've raised some really good little farmers that are
well
helping you out. That's
they
incredible.
know their animals. So, and that's an important part about when you're in the barn and when you're milking. You learn a lot about each animal. You can tell if they've got an upset stomach, or if they're not feeling great, or there's a lot of things that you can tell just by that hands-on in the barn. So
Yeah. Now you mentioned milking and exactly what you just said, seeing them every day, twice a day,
mhm.
coming in to milk, you really get to know each animal. And part of that routine is coming into milk. Do you mind explaining just that milking process a little bit? Like how long, what does it feel like, that kind of thing for once they are at 2 years old and join the milking herd?
So we milk twice a day. That's pretty common. Some dairies will milk 3 times a day. We do twice. And so when they come in the barn, they've got the cows can get out on dirt also, or they have what we call a freestall barn where they can lay in a stall. Most of those stalls have sand in them. So when they come into the barn, they might have a little debris, either dirt or sand or whatever on their teats or their udder. So we
Mhm.
take a towel and we wipe it off, and then we have a pre-dip that we dip them with. It's a liquid like a peroxide kind of dip. That just helps clean it and get rid of some of those germs or bacteria that might be carried around. We wait 45 seconds ish for that to really work. Kind of like when you're washing your hands at school, you sing the alphabet. That's kind of how we do with our cows. Then we wipe it off with a clean towel so that there's no manure, no sand or dirt or anything like that on their udders. And then
Mhm.
we attach the milker to them. And that milker kind of imitates what a calf would feel like if a calf was on the cow. It kind of pulses. It's not a steady vacuum like your vacuum cleaner at home would be. It's a pulse, like it would mimic what a calf would feel like.
Interesting. So it's very calm and
Uh-huh.
relaxing, and it sounds
Yes.
like it's a very short process. They're really only being milked for, I mean, like
Yeah. Like
20 minutes, like
maybe
max for like the
from
whole day, like 15, 20 minutes.
yeah, from the time they come in the barn till the time they exit, it's maybe 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes.
Wow.
And that's from cleaning, milking to
Sure.
post dipping also. So
Yeah.
yeah, and if a cow does not like what you're doing, they will let you know because they're big animals and they'll kick you or stomp or whatever. So the milking process is very calming. Um, yeah, it's very, very relaxing for the cows.
Yeah. So they're really only working like half hour to 40 minutes a day. And then they get to
Yeah,
eat and sleep and do nothing all
yes.
day. So that sounds like
Or
a
play with
pretty
each
great
other.
job. Yeah.
So yeah. And yes, the cows, it's not just the calves that kind of mess around with each other. The cows do that too. They lick on each other, or they kind of do the head butting thing with each other, or they kind of mess around too. So even the cows are having fun.
Yeah, I love that. Before we start to wrap up here, there was an interesting question that came in, and I don't think we've ever been asked this before on a live chat. So but it's an
Oh
easy one.
dear.
It's an easy one. Mrs. Reichert was wondering, do cows lose their teeth like humans do and get adult teeth?
They do lose teeth, but it's not, I don't believe they have a set of baby teeth and then big teeth come in. They get cavities and things like that, just like humans get. And once in a while, you'll find a tooth in like the water fountain, or you'll find it in the feed bunk. They'll lose a tooth, but I don't think they have like baby teeth and then adult teeth come in.
Yeah, and they don't have any teeth on the top either. Is that correct? It's
Right. I
just on the
Yes.
bottom.
Yes, they don't. They have teeth in the
Well,
back,
in the back.
but in the front, like if they were out on pasture, out on grass, they don't chew it off or bite it off. They rip it off,
Hmm,
if that
interesting.
makes sense.
Right. So if I started nibbling on your finger, it wouldn't really hurt because they don't have top teeth in the front. So
Well, sometimes they can. Those gooms are pretty hard though, and they can. I mean, it does hurt if you let them suck too
well,
long.
I guess so. That's true. That's true. Oh man. Um, we have one last question, and then I have my wrap up question.
Okay.
Kaylee was just wondering. So obviously, all of these calves are heifers. So they were just curious where are the bull calves? Do you raise any of the bull calves on your farm, or do we sell all of the bull calves?
We sell all the bull calves within about the first week after they're born.
Okay.
We have a buyer that comes, and he takes them all and takes them to his place, and then he raises them up and
Cool.
raises them up for meat,
Yeah.
like you would a
Absolutely.
steer or a beef cow or whatever. So
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, interesting. So they just go on to have a different career, right? The
Yes. Yep.
females get to be milking cows, and
Yep.
the bulls get to be raised to be our beef cows. Very cool.
That's correct. Another
Thank you.
part of our food system. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's great.
exactly. Awesome. So Farmer Jodi, this has been a lot of fun. I love that the girls have been just hanging out and really playing and kind of putting a show on for us today. They've been mingling and meandering pretty good here for us. Um, so we're gonna go ahead and start wrapping up. But before we jump off today, you are just such an amazing host farmer and do such a great job. And it's a lot of work. And like we mentioned in the beginning, it's 6 kids, it's 450 cows, it's a ton of chickens, it's a ton of goats. You do all the extra things like be a host farmer in this program and a million other things that you're there for your kids for school things and everything else. What is your motivator and your why for doing all of this in the dairy industry? What is your purpose for getting up every day and choosing to be a dairy farmer?
That's a really good question. I get asked that, a lot about why you do it, because it is, when people hear, do you ever get a vacation? Well, no, we got to milk our cows. And do you ever get a day off? Well, no, they need to be milked every day, twice a day. So it's a lot of hours and time, and maybe not so much vacations. Um, I think the why is just, we love our animals,
Yeah.
and we want to take good care of them, and it's important to have this milk in our food system, that's a healthy nutritional drink that is affordable for people. And we just really love the animals and want to take great care of them.
Yeah.
And really, we love this lifestyle, and we do it so that hopefully our kids have the opportunity to also take care of the animals and
Yeah.
and help feed people.
Yeah. It is a pretty rewarding experience to know that you're feeding the world. I mean, you're the reason I have ice cream in my fridge right now. So, or my freezer. So, yeah, I love that you're able to do that, and thank you for having that passion and
Yeah.
being so willing to work really hard so that way we can enjoy the delicious dairy products like ice cream and cheese and yogurt and just
Yes.
everything that goes along with it. So, And obviously, you're really good at it because these girls are very well taken care of and they're really adorable. So we've absolutely loved getting to follow along with them. Thank you so much for being an
Oh, you're
incredible
welcome.
host, Farmer, and just letting us get to follow along with their life for the last 7 months or so. It really has been a
Yes.
lot of fun. So before we jump off today, is there anything else that you would like to share with everybody before we
Well,
end for the year?
okay, first off, I want to thank you for, this program. It's great. I believe it's really important to show our kids and our youth that are maybe not on a farm every day. I think it's very important that they learn where their food comes from and that they meet some of the people that are producing that food. I think that's very important that
Yeah.
we are people and these are our animals that we're taking care of for you.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to say is um, so there's this thing called the College World Series, and it's in Omaha every year where
Mhm.
the college baseball teams go, if anybody's heard of it. It's a
Okay.
lot of fun. And we are there. I will be there with a couple of our calves, Babe and Ruth. It won't be these
Oh,
calves, it'll be some smaller calves.
okay.
But Babe and Ruth will be there in one of the booths. So you can swing by and you can meet the calves and you can meet me. And there's some other dairy people that will be there. And you can enjoy some delicious dairy snacks.
Oh,
And there'll be some trivia things you can participate in and win prizes. Um, it'll be a great time. So come on down to the College World Series. It'll be great.
yeah, absolutely. And do you have dates for that by any chance?
Yes, those dates are June 17th and June 18th. So it's a
June
weekend,
7th.
Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, June 17th
And
and
I'm
18th. Very cool.
yes, and I'm there from 11 to 6 both of those days.
Awesome. All right. So if they come out to Omaha, and they can come and see Babe and Ruth, I love those
Yes.
names. Nice job, Farmer Jodi, to match up with the college baseball.
Yes.
And get to meet Farmer Jodi and two of your cute
Yes.
calves. I know our adopted calves won't be there, but they're going to be a little bit too big to take to
Yeah.
something like that.
There.
Um, so
Yep.
it'll be good to see Babe and Ruth, June 17th and 18th. What a cool opportunity. You can go ahead and ask Farmer Jodi some questions and just go out for
Yes.
the day. And sounds like you can get a free dairy snack, which sounds delicious. So
Yes. There's
that's
usually
cool.
cheese or milk and maybe ice cream. Don't know yet, but
Ooh, yum.
but it's delicious and it's a great fun time. So yeah, everybody
Awesome.
come on out.
Yeah, we would love to see it. I wish I lived closer, Farmer Jodi, because I would be there in a heartbeat to come see you
And you
and
can
meet your
also
calves.
catch some baseball while you're there. So
True, true. That sounds like a pretty good plan to me. Awesome.
yes.
Well, thank you so much, Farmer Jodi. I hope everyone takes advantage of going to see her out on June 17th and 18th. But if you're not able to, you can always come back and watch this live chat again to hear Farmer Jodi. And you could probably join the program next year and get to experience it all over again with
Yes.
some new calves. So we thank you, Farmer Jodi, so much for doing this with us this year. We had so much fun. I love that we had 3 different breeds represented from your farm, which was pretty cool. And we could kind of see them and compare them all year long. So thank you so much for letting us borrow your calves for the year. And we really had a lot of fun. And
You're
thank
very
you.
welcome.
Yeah. And thank you all for doing the program. We loved having you. As I said in the beginning, registration is open for the program again for the 23-24 school year. It just opened today. You can go to discoverdairy.com/adopt. And on that page, you can either fill out the form if you're new to the program, or you can log in and all of your information will automatically be there. You just got to click, yes, I would like to sign up and resubmit. And we're happy to have you back again next year. So we look forward to having you soon, and we hope you all have a great summer. And thank you for joining us today. Take care, all. Bye bye.